All right, we're at the Ford dealership. Right here to the right is something special. It's something a lot of you have been wondering about and looking for information on, and as you guys know, we have good, tight relationships with dealerships. We got a special vehicle right to the left of us here. All right, guys, are you ready to see? It's parked right here, literally. Right off camera. I'm trying my best to hide it for right now, but you guys want to see the 2020 Ford Bronco. As you can see, Ford dealership. This is the first one in the country. Are you ready to show them, Ben?
I'm ready if you are.
All right, 3, 2.
The lineup out here today, spot on, except for that needs to change a little bit. All right, guys, so today Ryan and I are on our way out to a Ford dealership, if you can believe it or not, to check out something very, very special that not a lot of people have seen yet. And it's the main and right now the only competition that the Wrangler currently has. So I can't wait to show you guys. Let's get out there. I've been to this dealership so many freaking times, and I've never seen so many Wranglers on their lot before. They must have like 60 or 70 Wranglers here. Color matched all white, a couple hella yellows, which we're slow to release, honestly.
All right, we're at the Ford dealership. Right here to the right is something special. It's something a lot of you have been wondering about and looking for information on, and as you guys know, we have good, tight relationships with dealerships. We got a special vehicle right to the left of us here. All right, guys, are you ready to see? It's parked right here, literally. Right off camera. I'm trying my best to hide it for right now, but you guys want to see the 2020 Ford Bronco. As you can see, Ford dealership. This is the first one in the country. Are you ready to show them, Ben?
I'm ready if you are.
All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, and what do you say about
That's because Jeep doesn't have any competition right now. All right, sorry I had to troll you guys there for a minute, but that's because I'm getting a lot of comments about people talking about, oh, wait till the 2020 Bronco comes out, it's gonna smoke a Wrangler. And I don't know how people can say that, and we'll get into this later. But anyways, there is something here that is a little bit more competition for the Wrangler, and I'm actually surprised that this dealership has one. So there's an H1 Humvee right here. This thing's actually freaking tight. Age on the front of it here, little light bar action, winch. This is like something you definitely don't see very often.
40, 15, 50, or 40, 13, 50 R17s on this.
These are 40s on the back of it, and look at how much, I mean, there's still a lot of space in that wheel well. But one of the things you don't see a lot, especially for these Humvees that are sold to consumers, is the Humvee with the little truck bed on the back here. Usually they're like the full wagon all the way across the back. So it's actually kind of neat to see one that's has the truck bed on it. I don't think I've ever seen one in person that hasn't been a like a full cab length. But yeah, right now this is the only thing at this Ford dealership that even compares to a Wrangler. So I guess Ford does have a product right now on their lot that people can say will smoke a Wrangler. And let's make sure we don't hit the big green thing in the rear of our Jeep here. And yeah, I think that's gonna be close enough for us. All right, so we just got back to the house. Don't let the sun fool you. It is really cold outside today. But having the sun out, hitting the mojito, oh my gosh, this is my favorite color, especially when the sun comes out to hit this thing. I mean, you get a little bit of yellow, the green, some of that metal flake in there. It really brings this color out in the sun, and I've kind of been sick of looking at this thing in the winter, you know, kind of dull, but when the sun comes out, this color just, oh, it's the best. And the sun, it's actually just so perfect that the sun is out. We're actually gonna both head out and take some pictures of the Jeep and then his truck as well. The sun is it's just too perfect today. It's like one of the nicest, sunniest days that we've gotten in like a long time. So we're gonna go take some pictures while we're still out, and we have the rest of the day here. But I just wanted to talk to you guys for a second. about the 2020 Bronco. I am sorry that I kind of had to troll you guys there for a second, but honestly, here's where I'm at. I'm at the point where no matter what video I upload, I almost every single time get a comment from a diehard Ford fan that, like, you know, oh, I don't know why you bought a Wrangler. 2020 Ford Bronco is gonna kick its ass, and, like, you know, oh, you should have bought a Bronco, or you should have waited for the Bronco. The Rubicon's gonna have absolutely nothing on the new Bronco coming out. And I can appreciate the passion people have for cars, you know, things that are coming out, and passions for brands and stuff like that. But it kind of got annoying to a point where it's kind of frustrating to me because, one, there's only like 3 things we know about the Ford Bronco. 1, we know it's a Ford. 2, it's gonna be called the Bronco. And 3, it's gonna be based on the Ranger platform. Other than that, there's pretty much no facts to support anybody's claims. I know, like, the owner of Ford said, you know, enthusiasts or, you know, real true Bronco guys will not be disappointed. And let's be honest, if anybody wants to sell any car, they're gonna tell you you're not gonna be disappointed. Nobody's gonna say, oh, you wanna buy this, you know, this Jeep? Yeah, well, you know, the fuel economy is really bad. It's like driving a box, and if you're used to driving any other SUV, this is gonna ride a little rougher and a little bit louder. Like, nobody, that's not, like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, of course they're gonna say that they're not gonna be disappointed. It's gonna be the best thing, you know, all this, and it's promoting your own brand. That's something that you have to do. But it's just like the comments that I get that are, you know, the Ford Bronco's gonna, you know, smoke this thing. It's gonna come with a V8. Again, not based on any facts. I would think it's absolutely awesome if, you know, the Ford guys got what they wanted. Unlike, you know, the Jeep people, they've always wanted a V8. But again, if the Ford guys got, you know, what they wanted, they get a V8. Even if they put that little, that new Power Stroke in the Bronco, I think that would be kind of cool. But again, there's no evidence to support any of this. It being based on the Ranger platform, I'm assuming it's not gonna get like a full V8. Even the Raptor has like a supercharged V6. We're not sure if Ford is thinking about putting solid axles on a Bronco. I would assume they would if they want, you know, to even compete with Wrangler. You know, they would have to do solid axles to even, you know, say that they're competing with the Wrangler. If they have independent front suspension, that right there, kind of like, it's gonna be a road driving vehicle. And I'm reading a lot of comments on other videos that people are saying it's not gonna be a true Bronco if it doesn't come in a manual, much like I think about the Jeep. It's not gonna be a true Bronco if you can't remove the top. Also, much like in a Jeep. It's a lot of smaller things that like the Ford community is kind of prompting at Ford, like, hey, we want a V8, we want a manual transmission, we want a removable top, solid axles. It's just, I mean, the list goes on, and I can see the enthusiasm. But again, when I go through my comments and people are, you know, oh, you should have waited for the 2020 Bronco, it's gonna kick the Wrangler's ass. It's like, based on what? I don't know, because like I said, there's just so many variables that have not been released, have not been announced. It looks like they're gonna have a smaller version that's gonna be like a Bronco 2. And from like the pictures that have been leaked, in my opinion, it looks exactly like the Jeep Renegade. And I'm just like, if that's what Ford has up their sleeve, then I feel like a lot of Ford people are gonna be disappointed, and a lot of Wrangler people are gonna be like, that's it. But somebody was quick to point out that there was an outlined shape behind that, so maybe there's gonna be like a Bronco 2, which is like the one that like accidentally got like leaked, and then a full-size Bronco. Again, personally, I hope that you know, all the Ford people get what they want, but as of right now, Jeep has pretty much no competition that's being sold in the US market right now. And one thing's for sure, Ford can't mess this Bronco up as much as Chevy messed up the Blazer. Blazer was supposed to be, I mean, if you look back at the old body styles, 4x4 vehicle, it was right in there with the Ford Bronco, it was right in there with the Wrangler, and you know, personally, they turned it into another SUV. I thought it looked exactly like an Equinox. But anyway, I just had to get that off my chest. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate in the comments from all the Ford owners. I usually do, but again, there's really not a lot of facts to back up anything that, you know, they're gonna say it's gonna, you know, kick the Wrangler's ass. And when Ford comes out with the Bronco in 2020, I could be eating my own words, which I'm completely and utterly fine with, but at least I will know what I'm dealing with more then than what I'm dealing with now. Classic move, the car wash in front of me is being used. The car wash over there in front of Ryan is being used. But because of the horrible setup of this car wash, I can't use the only open bay because they put the vacuums in front instead of after. This guy's blocking the way, and yeah, that's pretty frustrating, honestly. Before everybody asked, why don't you just ask him if you can swing around the front and back in? I already did, and he said he's gonna be using it here in a minute. Yeah, this is just gonna be a quick wash, just to get most of that salt off. I mean, you can see in the back here, yeah, it's kind of nasty and dusty and whatever, but mostly to get the salt off from the undercarriage. Because it's the first nice day that we had, it's probably a good idea to maintain the cleanliness of your undercarriage. Yeah, and if you don't believe me that it's I mean, it's sunny, but it's like really cold out. When I was washing the Jeep, you can see on my mirror still, it's frozen. So the water froze as I was kind of washing the Jeep, but that's fine because most of the salt is now gone. All right, everyone, that's gonna do it for me today. We're just gonna go out and, you know, spend the rest of the day either taking photos, cruising around. Today is Ryan's birthday, so make sure you go over to his channel, wish him a happy birthday. We're probably gonna hit up some wings for him, and then, yeah, that'll be the rest of the day. But anyway, like I said, the Ford Bronco, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens, what Ford releases, what it all gets put into the actual Bronco before we can go ahead and say it's going to be direct competition to the Wrangler, which, I mean, it's going to be regardless, but we have to wait and see what the actual specs are before we can say, oh, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna rip the Wrangler apart off-road. And until then, we just won't know. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. If you have not been here before, get down there, hit subscribe, leave this video a big thumbs up, and we'll catch you in the next one.